Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well on this Tuesday evening. If you are not in one of the northern states, you are very fortunate. It is, hey Yvette, it is absolutely freezing here in my little neck of the woods in northern Illinois. It started off very cold and then towards, I think late morning, early afternoon, we started getting the freezing rain hitting the windows, and I had to run an errand tonight. And when I left the house, it seemed really fine. I was gone maybe 15-20 minutes. I came out of the store and it was horrible. So the roads have really gone downhill and whatnot. And this winter weather is truly for the birds, people. So I had originally planned to do a live video on my top 10 favorite kitchen gadgets because, as you know, I'm a kitchen person. But my youngest daughter today made me think of something else. She was homesick today from school. She's been sick for most of the weekend, and I thought, you know what, with the winter weather and everyone who's got the cold and flu and sinus infections and everything going around, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to do my top 10 favorite home remedies for a cough, because she has had a horrendous cough and she's been really stuffy. So I wanted to share with you some of my favorite top 10 remedies. In fact, she's racing away right now because she is coughing. I'm not sure if you can hear it in the background. So I wanted to give you some home remedies that we have found pretty useful throughout the years. The first one is more for sore throats. It's to gargle with the warm salt water. If you take about 8 ounces of warm water and dissolve a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of water in it, and if you gargle with that several times a day, it really can help with the sore throat. And what that does is it removes the mucus from the respiratory tract, and the warm water is what actually soothes your throat. Hey Kelly, hey Jennifer. The second one is something that we're probably all familiar with. They say to stand in a hot shower and you get that steam because it loosens up the congestion in your lungs, and again loosens up the mucus and the phlegm and helps to get that out of your system. So the other option, if you don't want to stand in a hot shower, which can get old after a while, is you take a pot of hot water and make sure it's good and boiling, and take it off of the stove and basically hold your head over the pot and put a towel over your head, and that again will loosen up that mucus. The other thing, and with that, so this was something I didn't know. If you inhale the steam and you've got tulsi leaves in it, it's also known as holy or sacred basil, which can actually be found at Walmart. I wasn't even aware of that. And you put that in there, and apparently that really helps to loosen up the stuff in your lungs. And it's something about that basil interacting with the hot water that's supposed to be very therapeutic. The next one, number 3, is a honey remedy. And just as a reminder, kids under 2 really shouldn't have honey, and always check with your doctor, things of that nature. But the honey reduces the thickness of the mucus, and it helps it get it out of the respiratory tract as well. And honey is high in antiviral and antibacterial properties, and it actually helps fight infections. So there's something to be said when you're sick to have hot tea and add some honey in it. But the recipe is kind of a funky recipe. What you do is, and this is a cough medicine recipe that you take at night, you take an onion and you slice it, and you put a teaspoon of dried thyme, or you can use 3 fresh teaspoons of the thyme, and you put that in a saucepan and you add enough honey to cover that mixture. And you let it simmer for an hour until the onion becomes kind of juicy and soft. Hey, Melissa, she's my counterpart in DC. She's one of the people I work with and that I love dearly, who's on her team, I should say. At any rate, so you pour that mixture into a jar and you put it in the refrigerator for up to a month. And you take 1 teaspoon of that before you go to bed at night. And something about that mixture with the honey and the onion is supposed to be really good for you, and supposed to help break up that congestion. Number 4 is ginger. I always have fresh ginger in my house, so this is a key one for me. And it's an expectorant, and it helps to thin and get rid of that mucus. It might even help with the intensity and the duration of your cough. You know, everyone's different. Ginger also has immune boosting properties that's part of the reason that you could recover faster. And so what you want to do is you cut an inch of that ginger root off, and you put that in a cup of water, hot water, and you drink that. And I've also heard that that's good for joint pain as well. I know my mom drinks that, and it helps her stomach and things like that, but it's a really good natural remedy. And the other thing is you can also chew raw fresh ginger throughout the day. I'm not quite sure how good that would be, but they say that works. Number 5 is garlic. I am not a garlic fan in any way, shape, or form. I know people love garlic, so I'm kind of odd man out with this one. But they said that you can eat a clove of crushed garlic mixed with a little bit of honey 2 or 3 times a day, and that's supposed to really help with coughing, but I don't think I could tolerate that. That grosses me out. The other thing that you can do is to add a tablespoon of chopped garlic to a pot of boiling water. And again, take it off of the stove after it's boiled, hold your head over it, and put a towel over your head, and that's supposed to really relieve that congestion. Number 6, this is an apple cider vinegar. So apple cider vinegar, it thins the mucus that's in your chest, and it helps reduce that coughing. And you're supposed to add 2 teaspoons of the unfiltered apple cider vinegar with a half a cup of water, and you boil it and remove it. And then again, you place your head over this pot with the towel, and that's supposed to thin out that mucus. And I thought that was kind of an odd ingredient. So we use something called Bragg, B-R-A-G-G, organic, raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. It's one of those random weird things that I have in my kitchen for cooking. But apparently this is actually a really good home remedy as well. Number 7, this is one that I had not heard of, and maybe some of you guys know. It is pineapple juice, honey, ginger, cayenne, and salt. So it said that this cough remedy is, it's a blend of those ingredients, and the cayenne helps to get rid of that mucus, and the honey and the ginger soothe your throat. And so the recipe is kind of funky. It's a cup of pineapple juice, a teaspoon of minced or chopped ginger, a tablespoon of honey, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So once you get all that mixed, you're supposed to drink a 1/4 cup of this up to 3 times a day, and that's supposed to be really good to loosen things up. This is an interesting one, and you can actually do this one for sure with young kids. Apparently, you know, when we have onions in the kitchen and we're cooking with them, as soon as you start chopping them, your eyes tear. But apparently those strong vapors in the onion, those help reduce coughing. And so they're saying to cut this onion in 1/4-size pieces, put it on your plate and put it next to your bed. Whereas we might think that's really odd, I've been told that it's pretty popular in Spain and France. Again, it's obviously safe for kids as long as they can't reach it and put it in their mouth, but it's nothing that they're ingesting. They're just inhaling the onion fumes. Here's one that I've not heard of. Geranium extract. I've never heard of geranium extract to begin with, but it said that it could help with the cough and a cold and bronchitis. And you can try adding geranium essential oil to a diffuser. So that's supposed to help as well. And here's the last one, and this is why I was out in the frozen tundra today for my child. And it's the only reason that I would have gone out in this weather. She asked me to go get a neti pot. So apparently these things are quite good. And this is all it is. It looks like a little plastic teapot, and you fill it with 8 ounces of distilled water. And then you put this little packet in there that came with the pot. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm not sure what kind of medicine this is. And you dissolve it in this little neti pot with the water, and you put the lid on, and you basically lean over the sink and you put this in one side of your nose, and as you're leaning over, it drains down and it pushes out anything that's stopping up your nose from the other side. And then once that's done, you turn around and you do it to the other side. Now, she did it for the first time tonight and said that it actually helped her. Her nose isn't as stuffy, so we might try that another time before she goes to bed. So I just thought that this would be a really good time of year to go through some cold remedies to see if that can help anybody, and let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear other home remedies. If any of you guys have those, let me know. I'm always willing to try something instead of taking your NyQuil, the Robitussin, and all that crap. I'd rather have some of the natural stuff that's not as harsh on our bodies. So if anyone has thoughts, let me know. Would love to hear. And again, if you're in one of these lovely northern states or one of the states that's getting hit by this storm, stay safe, stay warm. There's no need to rush. Better to get there late than not get there at all. So you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Bye.